Welcome back to episode 2 of season 2, The Move. Today's episode, I want to address the most tedious and overwhelming task of immigrating. Packing your bags right. There is so much information out there that it can totally confuse you, and at the end, you're still unsure on what to get. The things that you have are even useful or not, and then after coming all the way here, you realize that I missed this, and whatever I've got doesn't work. Now, my recommendations in this video are fairly standard, and you can upsize it or downsize it based on your own personal preferences. I will be sharing a printable list of items that I'm talking about in this video, as well as the quick tips that I'm sharing for you to keep it handy or to share it with someone you know who is going to travel soon. I personally got many opinions when I started packing. Now, all the advices that I got, it varied from take everything you have to get everything couriered. Now, every advice was different, and one thing was common, that it confused me more and more. Thankfully, I have a friend who has been in Canada for 3+ years, and she gave me the best piece of advice. Get everything that helps to get your day functional. So I knew that everything that I'm going to put in my bag for the kitchen has to make my day functional, has to help me in quickly doing things, and should not be too complicated. Now, to give you a better visual of what all things for the kitchen I carried from India, I laid out a spread for you. I technically emptied my entire kitchen and on this table. Rental unit apartment condos mostly come with a cooking range, which is electrical, and it can either have a coil top, which is like a round spiral thing, or a glass top electric stove, which is more like an induction. Well, both are technically induction, but one has electric coil setting and the other has a fancy glass top. You need to ensure that all your cookware has a flat bottom. Any cookware that has a curved bottom will either not work or will not warm or heat up evenly. I did a bit of research before coming here and found that non-stick cookware are fairly cheap and they're easily available. So I did not carry any of those heavy woks or saucepans, and my dear friend introduced me to cast iron cookware, and I bought these 2 saucepans for under $20 from Canadian Tire during their sale season. They're pretty heavy, so do not even think of bringing them along with you from India, especially if this is your first travel. It's summertime here, and our weekends are getting busier as we want to be out and about soaking up the sun. We are meeting our friends this weekend, and I'm planning to make a DIY gift which is purposeful to them. I asked them to pick a word that they would like to read every day, and now I'm getting started with my project. The frames cost me $2 each, and I paid $4 for the entire booklet of craft paper, which has beautiful patterns. So the words they picked are dream big, smile, and courage. I'm super glad the little hands worked along. Surprise, surprise, the gifts are all set. Yay! Self-love is important too. So I made these 3 frames to bring life to this boring grey wall with the words give, magic, and calm. Let's talk appliances. If you ask me, what did I get as an appliance from India? Nothing at all. Why? Because we are a household that we don't do a lot of chutneys or dry spiced powders, and hence I didn't really need that small mixer grinder jar. So I invested $30 in a mixer grinder here, and it does the job. I use it for idli dosa batters, for chutneys, even though a little bit watery at times, but we don't mind that. If you are fond of chutneys and dry spice powders, I suggest you get a small mixer grinder along. Before buying it, check two things. Number one, the watts, the electric watts, and second, the plugs. If you need to get any extra plug-in or inverter or those extra plugs so that you can use it in Canadian plugs here, then you must try and get it from India itself. I'm aware you can get it from either Amazon or Flipkart, I think so. Let's talk about the kitchen tools that are overused. Number one, the grater. I have two different kinds of graters that I got from India. Number one is a slicer. I use this for slicing onions for the gravies, and then there is this mincer grater that I have which is handheld. And the best part is I can just put green chilies, ginger and garlic in it and give it to my daughter, and she kinda likes to roll it. I believe that including kids in the kitchen gives them a sense of responsibility. And hey, you get a helping hand too. Now the next tool that is overused in my kitchen are two superheroes. They are my soldiers, I say them. One is a 2-liter and the other is a 3-liter pressure cooker. I do a lot of one-pot, one-shot meals, and it's a scientific cooking technique. If you like to know more about it, follow Opos on Facebook. If you have more questions on how things work here, or if you have any specific questions about kitchen items, do leave them in the comment section. This brings me to the end of this episode and some wise words I read from a poem by Rupi Kaur, First Generation Immigrant. Perhaps we are all immigrants, trading one home for another. First, we leave the womb for air, then the suburbs for the filthy city. In search of a better life, some of us just happen to leave the entire countries. Give your thumbs up, likes and subscribe to stay connected for next episodes and seasons. It's the rolling season signing off. Take care. Love, Kriti.